An economic hurricane is about to hit shore, and that includes the southern border where thousands of migrants are storming their way across. Ain't nobody happy about it, except maybe Joe Biden, and that's because he doesn't know what any of that means. But lest we forget, Orange Man bad. Let me explain. On yet another day that ends in Y, the President of the United States, Joseph Robinette Biden, is pissing on you while it's raining, and yet he's out there trying to tell you that everything is sunshine and rainbows.
The point is this. We've laid an economic foundation that's historically strong, and now we're moving forward to a new moment where we can build on that foundation, build a future of stable, steady growth, so we can bring down inflation without sacrificing all the historic gains we've made. And that's what we're beginning to see in today's jobs report.
Yes, all the jobs are being filled out there, except for the ones that are permanently gone from small businesses that were forced to close because of everything happening in this economy that Joe keeps bragging about because he does not understand economics.
And as we move to a new period of stable, steady growth, we should expect to see more moderation. We aren't likely to see the kind of blockbuster job reports month after month like we had over this past year. But that's a good thing. That's a sign of a healthy economy with steady growth, rising wages for working families, everyday costs easing up, and shrinking the deficit. That stability puts us in a strong position to tackle what is clearly a problem, inflation. I've been very clear that fighting inflation is my top economic priority.
What is "that's a lie" for 800, Alex? R.I.P. Trebek. Let's just get the question of the day out there. Have you resorted to eating ramen? It's good, so why not? But seriously, let me know your thoughts on the ever-rising prices in the comments below. And please share this video because it's free. Almost nothing else is. And as Biden keeps saying, it's all Putin's fault.
The two challenges on the minds of most working families are prices at the pump and prices at the grocery store. Both of these challenges have been directly exacerbated by Putin's war in Ukraine. The price of gas is up $1.40 since the beginning of the year, when Putin began amassing troops at the Ukrainian border. This is a Putin price hike. Putin's war has raised the price of food because Ukraine and Russia are two of the world's major breadbaskets.
Fact check on aisle 3. Let's look at gas prices in just the few days since Biden announced the $1.40 increase from the beginning of the year. Let's not even look that far back. Today, we are at $4.95 per gallon of gas. Yet another new record. It costs you a Lincoln for 1 little gallon right now, and that's only the national average. As of right now, 10 states are already paying a Lincoln per gallon and probably getting closer to a Hamilton. Let's look back just 1 week. In 7 days' time, gas has increased 28 cents per gallon. Where I am in the Midwest, it's been a nickel a day increase, like clockwork. Again, I remind you that 1 year ago, just a few months into the Biden presidency, gas was at $3.06 per gallon, or $1.89 less than right now. And before that, we know gas was under $3. But mean tweets are mighty expensive, right? It appears that this stupidity may actually cost as much as at least one guy is awake to reality.
Two-pronged question for you, William.
Okay.
The first one is this, and Katie makes a great point. The fact that we are seeing gas prices impact people's pocketbooks so much right now, would that change how you're considering voting for the next election, whether it's congressional later this year or presidential a couple of years down the road?
Definitely. I just know that one administration had cheaper gas, and this administration has more expensive gas.
And this is a bottom line, strictly financial conclusion for you.
I mean, it's a housing market. It's everything you previously mentioned. Gas is a big part of it.
See how shocked the reporter is? This is a bottom line for you? Like being able to feed and clothe your little girl and the rest of your family? You're willing to deal with mean tweets or other bigots who think there are only two genders? For those of us who live in reality, so not Joey, know that sunshine and rainbows can quickly turn into downpours and even hurricanes. And that's what we're actually embarking upon.
Right now, it's kind of sunny. Things are doing fine. Everyone thinks the Fed can handle this. That hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way. We just don't know if it's a minor one or Superstorm Sandy or Sandy or Andrew or something like that. And it's you better brace yourself.
What does that guy know? Jamie Dimon? I mean, he's just the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, which operates only the largest bank in the United States and like the 6th largest bank worldwide. So yeah, what does he know? Unlike Joe Biden, I want to be clear. So for those of us who live in the Midwest and don't get those cyclone references when Dimon says economic hurricane, let's just say it'll be a twister with 2 cows, same cow kind of time.
Cow. I gotta go, Julia. We got cows. Another cow.
Actually, I think that was the same one.
That's how I feel too. And it's infuriating seeing it all happen before our eyes, and we can't do much of anything about it because those in political office and those who surround those in political office all are doing their agendas that have nothing to do with the citizenry they are supposed to be representing. And then there's the internal fighting. Black Biden staffers are quitting, marking what they call a Blaxit, claiming a lack of mentorship while doing a lot of work for no real path towards becoming decision makers. Haven't they learned, based on who is president and vice president right now, that there aren't decision makers there to make decisions? Based on who's president, you learn to just keep running for president and eventually you'll get put in office. And that brings us to...
Where in the world is Kamala Ding Dong?
For her part on how to become vice president, Kamala Ding Dong has shown us that you just have to keep failing. Keep failing up and you'll get ahead. Take that whatever way you want. Just ask Willie Brown. But hey, on the positive, at least now the interns are going to get paid. Not like in the 1990s when White House interns performed... Oh, never mind. The drama within the White House continues, as Biden is mad as hell at his staff for correcting the senile old man. According to the NBC article, Inside a Biden White House Adrift, Biden is unhappy about a pattern that has developed inside the West Wing. He makes a clear and succinct statement, only to have aides rush to explain that he actually meant something else. The so-called cleanup campaign, he has told advisors, undermines him and smothers the authenticity that fueled his rise. Worse, it feeds a Republican talking point that he's not fully in command. It feeds a talking point that anyone with a working frontal cortex knows Joey is not fully in command. Biden is rattled by his sinking approval ratings and is looking to regain voters' confidence that he can provide the sure-handed leadership he promised during the campaign, people close to the president say. Crises have piled up in ways that have at times made the Biden White House look flat-footed. Record inflation, high gas prices, a rise in COVID case numbers, and now a Texas school massacre that is one more horrific reminder that he has been unable to get Congress to pass legislation to curb gun violence. But Joey's not going to let this stand, even though he barely can, with all that flat-footedness and all. Biden's going to get out there more, because he needs to be more like his predecessor, who he hates and claims was awful, but he's now going to be more like him because his approval rating is worse than his predecessor, Orange Man Bad. Let me get this straight. Gas prices are at record highs, so the president is going to fly around the country in a Boeing 747-200B series aircraft to let people know how much pain he understands they are in for having to pay their mortgage rates at the pump.
And I understand the feeling. I grew up in a family about 100 miles from here that where the price of gas went up, you felt it. It was a discussion at the kitchen table.
Or within a 4,000 square foot metal tube that is paid for by taxpayers. But what do I know? Once again, little Joey proves that he has no original ideas, so of course nothing is his fault. Back to that NBC article. Biden's feeling lately is that he just can't catch a break. A staffer said that Biden is frustrated. If it's not one thing, it's another. And then there are signs of managerial breakdowns. Is this thing on? Have we not been saying this since day one of this presidency, back when gas prices were still under $3? Apparently, we have to start recognizing those as the good old days. Even the Biden White House staff members and a few in the news media have conceded and joined basically all of us in becoming the Howard Beals from Network.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
But let's watch the lead up to that pronouncement, because even though that was from a movie in 1976, it is real life in 2022.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it.
Sound like anything happening today? Like, even a little bit?
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy. So
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone.
Sounds like a good plan to me. As we continue to say, all Biden needed to do when he came into office was nothing, and he couldn't accomplish that. So here we are, week in and week out, with the same mad as hell sentiment. But cast Satan aside and remember your F's: faith, family, and friends. And if you'd be so kind, please use your free will and share this video. Until next time, stay healthy, America.